Alex sat at the window of his small room. Outside, the sun sank behind distant hills, painting the sky gold and pink. The air smelled of warm earth and new grass. Alex thought of Maya, his best friend, who had moved away last month. Now the room felt empty. Books lay unread on the shelves, and the chair by his desk stayed unused. He missed Maya's laughter and her bright smile. A dull ache settled in his chest each time he glanced at his phone. He held it tight, hoping for a message, but the screen stayed dark as the day ended, and the room grew quiet. He kept the phone close to his chest at night, staring at the blank screen for hours. He remembered the jokes they once sent, and how she had cheered him up when he felt down. He opened his chat app again, typed "Hi, Maya," then erased it. He tried again, "I miss you," and finally pressed send. His heart beat fast as he waited. Minutes passed, then hours. His eyes watered from staring at the empty conversation. No reply came. Alex closed the app and let the phone fall beside him, wishing he knew what to do next. Before Maya moved, they spent every day together. They rode bikes to the river and laughed under the warm sun. In Alex's backyard, they built model rockets from old cans and sticks. He showed Maya how to paint the sky on paper, and she taught him her favorite songs. They shared dreams of exploring new places among the stars. Alex believed they would grow old together, side by side. But then Maya's family got an offer on a distant colony world. She left with her parents for a new school and a new life. Alex watched her ship disappear into the sky and could not believe she was gone. Alex tried other ways to reach her. He called her home number, but only heard a busy tone. He sent emails to her new address and waited for a reply. He mailed letters on crisp paper, but they never came back. He searched online and found a photo of Maya smiling at her new school. Seeing her face made him both happy and sad. She looked well, but so far away. He thought about giving up, but remembered how Maya once said that humans never give up. That small thought lit a new spark of hope in his heart. In that quiet moment, Alex felt the HFY fire rise inside him. He would not just wait, he would act. He stood up and walked to his desk. He opened his laptop and looked up simple radio projects. He read how signals could cross oceans and even reach into space. If people could send messages so far, he could build a device to call Maya. He closed his eyes and pictured her listening. For the first time in weeks, Alex felt strong and alive. He was human, and he would use his mind and hands to bridge the distance between them. Alex gathered old parts from his garage, found wires, batteries, and an old speaker. He watched videos that showed how to build a small radio beacon. He took apart his toy transmitter and kept its antenna. Night after night, he soldered wires onto a circuit board, tested each piece, and fixed his mistakes. His room filled with scraps of metal and plastic. He felt tired, but he also felt hope with every spark from his soldering iron. He thought of Maya's bright smile and knew he had to finish this project, no matter how long it took. At dawn, Alex carried the finished device to the roof. The morning air was cool and clear. He placed the beacon near the old radio tower and switched it on. A soft hum filled the air as he spoke into the microphone. "Maya, it's Alex. I miss you. Hope you hear this." He pressed the send button. The signal pulsed out into the sky, carrying his wish and his hope. Alex closed his eyes and imagined Maya listening. He felt both fear and excitement as the signal faded into the morning light. Then he waited, listening to the wind and the quiet. City below, suddenly his phone buzzed. A new message lit up the screen. "Alex, I heard you. I'm here." His heart leaped. He pressed reply and typed, "I'm so glad. Let's talk." He held the phone tight and felt tears well in his eyes. The sun rose fully, washing the world. In warm light, Alex thought of the miles between them, but in that moment, they felt small and beatable. He whispered softly, "We did it." The day began with a promise of new stories. Hope lived in every human heart, and Alex knew this was just the start. Alex woke before dawn, sat at his desk, staring at the small screen of his handheld radio. Last night, Maya had answered his first broadcast. She sent a short voice message. "I'm here. I hear you." Alex felt joy and fear mix in his chest. He thought he was done after his radio beacon worked. But now he missed seeing her face and hearing her real voice. He wanted more than a crackling signal. He wanted to look into her eyes. Across the miles and know she was safe, he typed a reply on his laptop. "Can we see each other? Can we video chat?" He paused and breathed deep. He did not know how. His home had no video gear for long-range links. He pressed send and waited. The sun rose outside, painting the walls gold. He stared at the blank screen until the reply came. "I'd love that. Let me try from here." Maya's voice crackled through. "But I only have an old tablet." Alex felt hope spark again. He would find a way. He packed his tools and walked to the town's community hall. Each morning here, a small group of hobbyists met by the old radio mast. They called themselves the Sky Listeners. Alex had joined once before but left when Maya moved. Now he returned. The hall smelled of solder and coffee. He found Mr. Patel and Ms. Ruiz hunched over circuit boards. He explained his plan. "I need to send video over long wave. Maya has a tablet on Colony World Orion 5. Can we rig a link?" They exchanged smiles. "That's human spirit," Miss Ruiz said. "We'll help." They gathered parts. Alex handed over his spare smartphone camera module. Mr. Patel found a lens from a broken telescope. Ms. Ruiz dug out a power amplifier. They spread wires, boards, and cables on a table. The group worked in quiet focus. Tools clicked and hummed. Alex felt warmth. Here were human neighbors, strangers and friends, joining to make a dream come true. He remembered how humans survive by sharing and creating. He felt proud and hopeful. By midday, they had built a small video transmitter. It used the radio mast's antenna and Alex's code for signal compression. The device sat in a wooden box, wired to a battery and a tiny solar panel. It looked crude, but Alex believed it would work. He packed it carefully in his backpack. Thanked the Sky Listeners for their time. Ms. Ruiz patted his shoulder and said, "Humans never give up. That is what makes us strong." It's afternoon. Sun warmed the hall. Alex carried the equipment back home, set it on his roof next to the old beacon. He climbed up and hooked the wires to the mast. A gentle breeze blew. Lo, the town hummed with life. He opened the tablet Maya had loaned him through a friend on Orion 5. The screen had no camera, but he added a small webcam from his parts box. He taped it in place and opened his app. His heart beat fast. He dialed the frequency they had agreed on. "Channel 27, he whispered. "Maya, this is Alex." Static filled the air, then her voice. "Alex, I see you," he gasped and smiled. On the small screen, a pale blue face appeared. Maya's hair floated in low gravity. Her eyes shone with relief. He waved and she waved back, the tablet shaking. In her hands, Alex laughed, feeling tears in his eyes. He said, "It's really you." The signal fluttered, but her smile stayed clear. They spoke at once, words tumbling over each other in joy. I missed you more. I'm so happy." Then the feed wavered. The image blurred and broken sound cut in and out. Alex's heart sank. He fiddled with the antenna and adjusted the amplifier gain. He called, "Stay with me." Maya's face flickered. She said, "Don't give up." That phrase sounded like a spark. He twisted a dial and held his breath. The picture cleared. He cheered, and she laughed. Their faces grew stable and bright in the screen's glow. They talked for hours about small things, new gardens on Orion 5, the wildflowers back home, and the taste of fresh bread as dusk fell on Earth. Dawn rose on Orion 5. Birds sang in both worlds, though neither Alex nor Maya could hear them. They shared dreams again, plans to build a digital art gallery where they could paint together, ideas for a shared journal, and even thoughts of meeting on a new world someday. With each idea, their distance felt smaller. Promise was a bridge. They built with hope and human will. When their time ended, they said goodnight and watched each other's smiles fade. Alex shut off the gear and sat in the dark. He let the cool air fill his lungs. He thought of the journey ahead, improving the link, finding better parts, maybe training more people to help. He felt tired, but excited. The night sky stretched. Above him, full of stars. Somewhere out there, Maya looked at the same sky. In that silent bond, they were never truly apart. Alex climbed down from the roof. He felt the HFY spirit strong in his heart, that spark of human hope and creativity. He would not let the miles win. He would keep learning, building, and connecting. As he walked inside, he whispered to the empty room, "We human beings can cross any distance." And he knew it was true. They had just begun their story. Alex woke early again, before the sky had turned light. He sat at his desk and stared at the empty screen of his tablet. Yesterday had been the first clear video call with Maya. He had seen her smile and heard her laugh. Yet now the screen was blank, and the house felt too quiet. He missed her voice when he woke up. He missed the way her eyes lit up when she told a joke. The miles still lay between them, no matter the call. Alex sighed and closed the tablet. He felt far from her once. More, he walked to the window and looked at the rising sun. Its warm light touched every roof and garden in his town. He thought of Maya on Orion 5. The sun on her world was pale blue, but she had said it felt warm. Alex pressed his hand to the glass. He wished he could reach through and touch her hand. He remembered how they once held hands on the riverbank. They laughed when the water splashed them. He wanted to feel that closeness again. Alex shook his head and turned away. He decided to try something new. He opened his laptop and wrote a list of things he and Maya used to do together. He wrote ride bikes, build rockets, paint stars, and share stories. He added play music and share recipes. He smiled as he typed. Each memory brought warmth to his heart. He printed the list on colorful paper. He folded it into a paper boat, just like they had once made on the river. He wrote for Maya on the side and set it by his window. He thought of sending her paper letters by post. But he knew they would never arrive on Orion 5, he thought. Of email, but words on a screen felt too cold. He wanted something more alive. He remembered a friend who worked at the local makerspace. They built small drones that flew on solar power. He packed his bag with tools and sketches and walked to the makerspace. The bell over the door jingled as he entered. Machines hummed and lights blinked. He felt hope stir again at a workbench. He met Lena, the space engineer. She looked up from her soldering iron and smiled. Alex explained his idea. "I want to make a paper-fold drone," he said. "Something that carries my message to Maya on Orion 5. Lena's eyes sparkled. "That is human spirit," she said. "We will try." They studied the paper boat and then added a tiny solar wing flap to it. They fitted a micro camera and a message emitter. Each part was small, but each part mattered. Alex felt proud. To work with his hands again, they tested the drone in the makerspace courtyard. The paper boat drone lifted on smooth solar-powered flaps. It flew up, hovered, and then drifted toward the sunlit sky. Alex and Lena cheered. The drone carried the paper list of memories and a small note. "I miss you, Maya. I hope this finds you." Alex watched as it flew higher, toward the edge of the atmosphere. He closed his eyes and whispered, "Go find her." In that moment, the air felt full of promise. Days passed. Each morning, Alex checked the tracker on his tablet. The drone's signal pulsed weakly, but steadily. He saw its path cross the ocean, then the edge of space. At night, he sat under the stars, imagining the drone drifting through Orion 5's sky. He thought of Maya reading his list under her pale blue sun. He felt both sadness and hope. Even if the drone never reached her, he had tried something bold. He had used his mind, his hands, and his heart. That was what it meant to be human. Then, one morning, his tablet buzzed. A new message glowed on the screen, a short video clip. Alex's heart pounded. He pressed play. He saw Maya's face lit by her tablet's screen, the paper list in her hand. The solar-powered wings lay beside her on a table. Maya's eyes shone with tears. She said, "Alex, I got it." I read every word. Alex felt his chest swell with joy. He typed back, "I'm so happy." He knew the miles still lay between them, but they felt smaller now. Hope had flown across the stars, carried by human courage and heart. And Alex believed they could bridge any distance together. Alex. woke to a pale morning light and the soft hum of his tablet. Yesterday, Maya had sent him a message. She saw the paper drone and read his memories. Alex felt joy, but also a new longing. He realized he wanted to share more than words. He wanted Maya to see the art and stories they once made together. He wanted her to know that distance could not stop their friendship or their human spirit. He sat at his desk and opened a blank document. He typed, "Memory Gallery." Under that, he wrote a list of things to include: sketches of the riverbank, songs they sang, recipes they tried, poems about the stars. He drew simple icons beside each line. Then he leaned back and imagined Maya's smile as she saw each one. His heart felt full of hope and a tingle of excitement. Alex knew he needed help, packed his backpack and biked to the community library. Inside, he found Ms. Harper, the librarian, arranging colorful books on a table. Alex showed her his plan.
"I want to build a digital gallery of our memories," he said.
"I will send it to Maya on Orion 5. Ms. Harper's eyes lit up. "That is wonderful," she said. "Let's gather your art and make it shine." They cleared a corner of the library and set up 2 laptops. Alex opened folders of his sketches and poems. He scanned each page with a small scanner. Ms. Harper found an old projector and a microphone. She called Mr. Chen, the local music teacher, who brought a keyboard and some recorded songs. Together, they created slideshows of images with gentle music playing. They wrote captions in simple English and added Maya's voice from the last video call. The gallery grew warm with color and sound. As they worked, more townspeople came by. Lena, the space engineer, brought a camera to record the process. Mr. Patel, an amateur radio operator, offered to help with signal coding. Children painted stars on banners that hung from the library ceiling. Each person added a piece of themselves. Alex watched and felt pride. He saw that when humans unite, they build more than machines, they build hope. By afternoon, the gallery was ready. Walked through it on his laptop. He saw the paperboat drone drifting under a blue sky of Orion 5, followed by his list of memories glowing on a screen. He heard Maya's laughter recorded in his phone. He saw their old rocket models painted in bright colors. He smiled through his own tears. "This is for you," he whispered. Now came the hard part, sending it across the stars. Alex and Mr. Patel carried the laptop and the small projector to the roof. They hooked them to the radio mast and to the solar panels. Mr. Patel typed lines of code to compress the video and audio into a tight signal. Alex held the microphone and spoke into it. "This is Earthtown Library. We send our gallery of hope and friendship. Maya, we are here and we remember you." He pressed a key and the data pulsed through the antenna. The night air buzzed with electricity. Alex closed his eyes and pictured the signal racing across space. He thought of Orion 5's pale blue sky and trusted that the waves would find her. He felt the HFY spirit rising in his chest. Humans can reach across any distance when they choose to connect. Back inside the library, the projector glowed with a swirling animation that showed the data leaving in waves. The townspeople watched. In silence, each one felt the power of human will and friendship. Ms. Harper placed her hand over her heart. Lena wiped a tear. Even Mr. Patel's glasses shone with reflected light. Alex stood by the door, feeling small and strong at once. Late that night, Alex lay in bed, listening to the soft hum of the radio. He waited for a reply.
Ow.
He held a simple wooden box on his chest, a gift he had made for Maya, filled with pressed flowers and a carved star. He hoped she would like it. He whispered into the dark. "We are here. We care. We will not let distance break us." At dawn, his tablet chimed. A new message appeared. "Alex, the gallery arrived. It is beautiful. I saw every star and heard every note. I feel close to you." Alex felt his heart leap. The gap between worlds seemed smaller now. He climbed out of bed and looked at the rising sun. Its light touched every leaf and window in his town. He thought of Maya under her pale blue sun, feeling the same glow. He smiled and whispered, "This is only the beginning." In that quiet morning, Alex knew one thing for sure. Hope could travel across space when humans refused to give up. And as long as they believed, no one would ever be truly distant. Alex stepped through the open hatch and froze. Before him stood Maya, her pale blue hair catching the station's soft glow. She held her breath, eyes wide with surprise and joy. For a moment, neither spoke. Then Alex saw tears glimmer in her eyes, and he felt his chest tighten. He thought back to every lonely night when he stared at the stars, hoping she was safe. Now he was here, standing face to face at last. Maya ran forward and wrapped her arms around Alex. He felt the warmth of her body through his suit. He held her close and whispered, "I missed you so much." Her voice trembled as she replied, "I missed you too." The weight of distance fell away. In that embrace, they were no longer separated by light years. They were two human hearts beating. Together, Alex felt tears slip down his cheeks and let them come. He did not try to hold them back. They stepped into the small reunion room where family and friends watched through glass. Ground crew clapped softly, and children waved flags painted with Earth's green and blue. Alex realized how many people had helped him reach this moment. How every scientist, engineer, teacher, and friend had played a part. The station speaker crackled and announced, "Commander Lee reunited with Maya Joe." Applause filled the corridor beyond. Alex felt proud but also humble. He knew this success belonged to all of humanity. Maya led Alex to a bench by a window that looked out on the colony world below. Fields of pale grass and silver trees stretched beneath a lavender sky. Alex sat beside her and held her hand. They did not need to speak right away. The view was enough. After a while, Maya said, "Softly tell me about home." Alex closed his eyes and smiled. He began to describe their town's sunrise, the river where they built rockets, and the library where they made their memory gallery. As he spoke, he saw Maya's face light up. She asked questions and laughed at his jokes. Alex felt hope rise. Inside him, he realized that sharing stories could bridge any gap. He told her about the microship that carried his gift and how he designed the shuttle with the town's help. Maya listened and said, "I knew you would find a way." Alex felt honor in her words. He thought of all the nights he learned and built. That work had led him here. Maya then shared her own journey. She spoke of the pale sun that warmed her, colony world, of new friends she made among scientists and children, and of how she kept Alex's sketches on her desk. She showed him a small jar where she placed his pressed flowers. Alex reached out and touched the jar's glass. He felt a thrill. Those flowers had traveled millions of miles. That simple act proved human hope could outpace distance. They stood and walked through the corridor together. Station gardens bloomed in rainbow colors under gentle lights. Engineers waved and offered coffee and travel mugs. Children shyly came forward to greet Alex. He knelt to talk with them, answering their curious questions about Earth. Maya watched him with pride. Alex realized that even on a distant world, humans could make homes filled with kindness and wonder. When the visit ended, Maya and Alex returned to the shuttle bay. The craft waited under pale lights. Alex felt a pang at the thought of leaving the station. He did not want to part again. Maya sensed his worry and took his hand. "I'll come with you," she said. Alex stared at her in surprise. "You will," she nodded. "We can return together. Our worlds are better when we share them." Alex smiled wider than he had in months. Together they walked to the shuttle. Ground crew secured supplies and checked systems. Alex and Maya climbed into the cabin side by side. He strapped in and leaned close. She reached across and held his hand. Alex said, "This journey began because we refused to stay apart." Maya squeezed his hand and said, "And it continues because we choose to stay together." As the engines fired, Alex looked at Maya's face in the cockpit's dim light. He thought of every lonely night, every signal sent, and every person who helped. He felt the full force of human spirit, that fierce belief that hope can span the stars. The shuttle rose and carried them toward home, back to Earth's blue sky. In that moment, Alex knew that distance was no match for human will. Together, They would build new stories, side by side. Under the sun and among the stars, Alex and Maya sat side by side as the shuttle descended through Earth's blue sky. The engines hummed softly, and the window showed green fields and rivers below. Alex felt his heart beat fast. After so long apart, he would soon be home. Maya reached for his hand and smiled. Together, they watched the clouds drift past. When the shuttle landed on the airstrip, ground crew cheered and clapped. Children held banners that read "Welcome home" and "We missed you." Maya stepped onto the tarmac and felt the warm breeze on their faces. Everyone rushed forward to greet them. It was a moment Alex had only dreamed of. He saw his friends from the makerspace, Ms. Harper the librarian, Mr. Patel, Lena, and many more. Each face shone with pride and joy. Alex hugged each person in turn. He thought of all the nights they worked together, soldering circuits, writing code, painting banners, and testing drones. Each small act had built a bridge across the stars. Now that bridge led back to this day. Maya joined the hugs and laughter. She held Alex's waist and said, "We did this together." Alex nodded and tears came to his eyes. They walked to a stage near the control tower. A small crowd gathered under flags of Earth and Orion 5. Mayor Hayes stepped forward with a microphone. He spoke in clear, simple words. "Today we celebrate the return of two of our bravest citizens. Alex Lee and Maya Jo have shown us that no distance can break the human spirit. They prove that hope and unity can span any star lane." The crowd cheered and handed them flowers and small gifts. Alex took the microphone. His voice shook, but he spoke anyway. "Thank you all. When Maya left, I felt lost. I did not know how to reach her across so many miles. But I learned that humans never give up. We reached for each other with ideas, machines, and heart. This is not just our story. It is the story of every person who dared to hope." He looked at Maya and then at the crowd. "We stand here because you all believed. Thank you," the crowd roared. After the ceremony, Alex and Maya walked through the town square. They stopped at the riverbank where they once built their model rockets. The sun shone on the water as children played nearby. Alex knelt and picked up a small stick. He traced a rocket shape in the sand and laughed. Maya joined him and drew stars around it. They sat together, sharing memories and silent joy. As evening fell, the townspeople prepared a feast in the community hall. Long tables were covered with fresh bread, roasted vegetables, sweet fruits, and warm drinks. Lanterns hung from the ceiling, casting soft light on smiling faces. Alex and Maya sat at the head of the table. They held hands and tasted each dish. Laughter and music filled the hall as people shared stories of the journey. Later, Alex stood and tapped his glass. The room quieted. He spoke softly. "This world is our home, but our hearts can reach across the void. We saw that hope can travel faster than any engine, and that human creativity can build bridges of light. Let us carry this lesson into our future. Let us dream of new worlds, but always remember the power of unity and hope." People lifted their glasses and cheered again. When the feast ended, Alex and Maya walked home under a sky full of stars. The night air was cool and calm. Maya leaned her head on Alex's shoulder and whispered, "I am happy to be here with you." Alex kissed her forehead and replied, "I'm happy you came back." They stopped near Alex's house and looked up. The stars were bright, as if welcoming them. Alex opened his door and let Maya inside. He showed her the memory gallery he kept on his laptop, the sketches, songs, and videos they made together. He rewrote a small code to include their reunion videos. They watched it one more time, smiling and sometimes wiping tears away. At last, Alex and Maya sat quietly on his couch. Alex turned to her and said, "Every distance we face is a chance to grow. Every problem we solve brings us closer." Maya held his hand and nodded. She added, "We will keep building, creating, and hoping. That is who we are." Alex smiled and kissed her hand. In the dark living room, Alex whispered, "Humanity never runs. We face the unknown with hope." Maya looked into his eyes and replied, "And we do it together." They sat in silence, hearts full, knowing that no matter how far the stars might shine, they would never be truly apart. Alex woke before sunrise, his heart both heavy and hopeful. Last night, Maya had sent him a message. She saw the digital gallery and felt every song and sketch as if she stood beside him under Earth's warm sun. Alex smiled, but his chest still ached. He longed to speak to her face to face again, did not know how to bring them even closer across the stars. He dressed quickly and carried his wooden gift box to the community center. Inside was a carved star pendant and pressed flowers from his garden. He wanted Maya to hold something real in her hands. The center's main hall was bright with morning light. Mr. Patel stood by the radio mast, fine-tuning the signal strength. Lena adjusted an extra antenna. Alex placed the gift on a small table under a lamp. "I want Maya to have this," Alex said. "Can we send it?" Mr. Patel nodded. "We can encode tiny robots to carry small packages," he said.
"Oh, but they
"Travel at fraction of light speed. It may take years." Alex's heart sank. Years felt too long. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath. He thought of all human history, of explorers crossing oceans, of messages carried by pigeons, and of spacecraft reaching distant worlds. Humans never viewed time as a barrier. If they tried, they found a way. "Then let's try," Alex whispered. Lena smiled and brought out a small metal sphere, no bigger than a marble. "This is our microship," she said. "It has solar sails and a tiny compartment." Alex placed the pendant and flowers inside. He watched Lena seal it with a soft click. The sphere glowed faintly with stored power. "It should reach Orion 5 in a few months," Lena said.
Alex
Felt a rush of hope. Months seemed short, compared. 2 years they moved outside and fitted the microship onto the top of the radio mast. Mr. Patel keyed in coordinates. The sun shone on the dish as they activated the launch sequence. A beam of energy lifted the sphere from its cradle and sent it humming into the sky. Alex watched until he saw only a flicker against the blue. He whispered, "Safe journey." He felt both joy and fear-joy that he had acted. Fear for the long road ahead. Days turned into weeks. Alex spent his time working with the Sky listeners in the makerspace. He studied orbital mechanics with Lena and helped Ms. Harper catalog books for the next digital send. Each task reminded him of human curiosity and teamwork. He felt less alone when he focused on building and learning. One afternoon, Alex climbed the hill outside town and looked at the horizon. The sun was low, and the wind carried the scent of wildflowers. He lifted his eyes to the sky. Somewhere far above, the microship raced onward. He imagined it passing planets and stars. He pictured Maya discovering the tiny vessel and opening it to find his gift. He felt connected to her in that thought. Then his tablet buzzed. He ran down the hill and tapped the screen. A new message blinked. "Alex, I found something today." His heart thudded. He opened it. A short video loaded. Stood in the pale blue light of Orion 5's sun. She held the metal sphere in her hand. Her eyes shone with tears. She unscrewed the top and revealed the carved star and pressed flowers. She said, "I never thought I would hold Earth in my hand again." Alex felt tears fill his own eyes. He pressed replay and watched her smile. The video continued. Maya walked through a meadow of tall grasses. She placed the flowers in a small glass jar on her desk and hung the star above it. Then she held the camera toward her tablet screen. Behind her, he saw other children and scientists gathered. They gasped when they saw the gift. A boy reached out to touch the carved star, and an elderly scientist told a child, "This is human hope." Alex felt his chest expand with pride. Typed back, "I'm so happy. Thank you for sharing this with me." That night, Alex could not sleep. I lay in bed and thought of Maya under her pale sky and of the journey his gift had taken, he thought. Of the months he spent learning and building, he realized that distance was only a space to fill with human will. Each invention, in each message, had woven them closer together. At dawn, he gathered his laptop and sketches and biked to the community hall. He told Lena and Mr. Patel about the video. They smiled and cheered his news. And Alex said, I want to do more. I want us to meet in person. Lena looked at him and nodded. Let's plan an exchange mission, she said. You prepare a small shuttle to carry a human passenger. Alex's eyes widened. A real meeting. He felt hope race through him, so bright it was like sunrise itself. The weeks that followed were busy. The whole town joined the effort. Engineers designed a safe cockpit module. Medics prepared life support systems. Teachers and librarians collected books and art supplies to send along. Alex wrote letters of promise. When we meet, we will build rockets and paint the sky again. Packed sketches and poems into sealed capsules. Each capsule held a piece of his heart. Finally, the shuttle stood ready at the edge of the launch pad. Alex wore a simple, white flight suit. He stood beside the craft with Lena and Mr. Patel and Ms. Harper. They placed a helmet on his head and handed him a small tattoo of Earth and Orion 5 joined by a bridge of stars. Alex pressed it to his wrist and felt its cool stick. He stepped into the cockpit, waved to the crowd, and gripped the controls. A deep rumble shook the pad, and the shuttle rose. Alex saw the smiling faces of his town below. He thought of Maya, waiting on her world. He felt tears in his eyes, but they were tears of hope. He whispered, "Here I come." The engines glowed bright, and the shuttle climbed into the sky. The world below seemed small, but Alex knew that humans could span any distance with hope and creativity. And soon, he would stand beside Maya once more, proving that no distance could break the spirit of humanity. Alex sat in the cockpit of the small shuttle as it climbed through Earth's upper atmosphere. He pressed his hand to the glass window and watched his home planet shrink. He saw the blue oceans and white clouds fade into the blackness of space. A soft hum filled the cabin. As the engines adjusted for the long voyage, Alex felt a mix of excitement and fear. He remembered the day Maya left and how empty his world felt. Now, as Earth drifted away, he felt that empty ache again. But he also felt a spark of hope. Humanity never stops reaching for the stars. He unclipped his safety harness and reached for the stack of messages he carried. There were video clips of Maya smiling under Orion 5's pale sun, letters filled with her dreams, and sketches of the memory gallery they built together. Alex played one video where Maya laughed at a joke he told. Her laughter echoed in the quiet cabin. He pressed pause and smiled. He spoke to the empty space. "I'm coming, Maya." Even though no one could hear, his words felt powerful. He felt the HFY spirit in his chest, that fierce hope that humans can cross any distance. Hours passed and the shuttle glided past distant stars. Alex checked the navigation display. Orion 5 lay ahead, a pale blue dot among many. He took a deep breath and thought of the journey that brought him here. He thought of the whole town helping him build the shuttle. He thought of children painting stars in the library and engineers soldering circuits with him. He realized he did not travel alone. He carried with him the strength and creativity of every person who believed in hope. That thought made him smile. Through his nerves, he closed his eyes and let the shuttle's gentle vibrations fill him with calm. He recalled the first radio call with Maya, when her voice crackled over the signal. He remembered the paper drone that flew across space and the digital gallery that glowed on her tablet. Each attempt had been a step across the void between them. Now he was on the final step. The shuttle's computer beeped, signaling the approach to Orion 5's orbit. Alex opened his eyes and felt his pulse quicken. He was so close he could almost feel Maya's hand in his. The shuttle glided into orbit around Orion 5. Outside the window, he saw the pale blue sun rise above a ring of distant mountains. A soft glow spread across the black sky. Alex pressed a button, and the landing bay hatch opened. He watched solar sail drones drift past and land on the station's platform below. Traffic lights blinked green and red on the docking port. The voice came through the intercom. "Welcome, Commander Lee. You are clear to dock." Alex's heart leaped. He pressed controls gently and felt the shuttle align with the station's bay. Inside the station, ground crew members in light suits waited at the hatch. They held signs with Maya's name and symbols of Earth and Orion 5 joined by stars. Alex felt tears press at his eyes. He remembered his fears of being too late or too far. But here they were, bridging worlds in a simple docking. He steadied himself and opened the hatch. Soft light greeted him. A voice called, "Commander Lee, you have arrived safely." He stepped onto the platform and felt solid ground beneath his feet once more. He breathed deeply and looked up at the sign. "Welcome to Orion 5. The station's walls glowed. With pale blue panels that reflected the sun's light, Alex felt the weight of distance lift from his shoulders. He thought of Maya waiting somewhere beyond the next corridor. He lifted his hand to his chest and felt the carved star tattoo beneath his flight suit. It burned warm with promise. He whispered, "I'm here." The HFY hope in his heart shone brighter than any star as he walked down the corridor. Each step echoed with possibility. He knew the next door would open to Maya's face. He felt both nervous and proud. He carried more than himself. He carried the human spirit that would not give up on connection. The world beyond this door was new, unknown, but full of hope. Alex reached the final hatch and let his hand.